Not exactly Roswell, not a hotbed of UFO sightings, Carteret. But lots of locals insist they saw something early Sunday.
Well, there was at least a dozen or so lights.
I was having a barbecue out here, and we saw the lights go overhead.
Some say it was over Arthur Kill. Most like buddies Dave Stish and Mike Misko talking about
V formation, bright yellow lights.
They had a formation, then they broke it, and then as they appeared up over here, they just started disappearing. So like a diamond-shaped, gold-colored type light.
Mike drew me a picture of what he saw in the sky with diamonds, both insisting that what they saw in the pre-dawn was not influenced, not one bit, by the menu at their garage party.
That night at the party, was it mostly soft drinks?
Yes.
And surely off-duty Carteret Police Lieutenant Dan Tarrant knows what he saw.
I went outside, and I observed in the night sky, it was pretty clear, about 16 yellow-orange type objects in the air.
You got there. Any of your buddies giving you a hard time?
No.
Do you work here?
Yeah, I think so, but maybe after this I won't.
What's your name?
Lieutenant LaPointe.
Is he a friend of yours?
No, he's not.
But Acting Chief John Pieczyuski is.
No, sir, there were 7 officers working the night shift, and all 7 of them seen it, and we got approximately 15 telephone calls in the headquarters about it.
McGuire Air Base and Newark Airport, the usual suspects in such sightings, said nothing unusual was noted. So what's out there?
I haven't got the slightest idea.
I wouldn't even guess.
You think maybe it could have been from another world?
Don't know. Anything is possible.
It's even possible that one Carteretter who was offering video for sale actually had some, but she wouldn't show it to us unless we paid first, so I don't think so. And besides, he knows what someone with an agenda can do with video. Maury Alter, CBS 2.
How do you spot that constellation?
One person actually got pictures, so you can judge for yourself. Lucy Yang is live in Perth Amboy with more on this story. Lucy.
Diana, this is exactly what UFO buffs dream about, an unidentified flying object. We're told it happened shortly after midnight this weekend, going into Sunday morning right here over New Jersey. And those who saw it say they will never forget the moment they looked upward and were gripped by a dazzling array of lights.
Oh my goodness.
Even now, watching their amateur video at home, the Bagleys are still just as mesmerized by whatever it was that crashed their weekend party.
It's really amazing. I think so. I just don't know what's going to become of it, but...
Did you check all your rooms? Something, someone, some it lit up the skies above New Jersey this weekend, and authorities are baffled. Carteret Police Lieutenant Daniel Tarrant saw it with his own eyes.
I saw approximately 16 yellowish, golden color lights, orange, yellowish color lights. Several of them were in like a V-type formation from what I saw. Others were just scattered around the V.
At least 15 callers contacted the Carteret police desk wondering what was up in the sky as a formation of lights quietly, and some say beautifully, glided across the heavens. Even our own Eyewitness News intern, Jerell Malvasio, witnessed the light show as he was heading south on the turnpike, all the cars eventually pulling over to avoid an accident and to get a better view.
It was one of the most amazing things I think I've ever seen. It was just hovering, and all of a sudden they disappeared. Like one at a time, each one started to fade until they were gone.
Whether they saw it from their vehicles, their homes, or from a party, the description of the sighting is consistent from person to person. All clearly remember how the lights traveled, how they flickered out one by one, and how it all ended as mysteriously as it began.
I wasn't alarmed, but in any case, because for the simple fact that it was peaceful.
Very peaceful, very serene, very beautiful, and I just think we witnessed some type of miracle phenomenon. Absolutely.
Now, officially, Carteret police are not investigating, but unofficially they have put together this wanted poster. Meanwhile, Newark Airport reports no unusual flight patterns at that hour. McGuire Air Force Base says none of their planes were airborne. The National Weather Service says this was not the handiwork of Mother Nature. And eyewitnesses are adamant these were not flares, these were not fireworks, so whatever it was, really, your guess is as good as anyone else's. We're live in Perth Amboy tonight. Lucy Yang, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Across the sky.
They were beautiful. You didn't feel threatened by them at all. They were quiet, and it glowed, and it was just something to see.
People ran out of this party to video the show in the sky.
Oh my goodness.
All over Carteret they saw it just after 12:30 Sunday morning. They called it a UFO. Points of light about the size of volleyballs moving in unison.
It just kept moving around and fading in and out. A couple of them zipped across the sky, and I was just like about to crash the car, you know, because I was so excited.
Carteret police got about 15 calls, and 7 officers on duty at the time saw it for themselves. This detective lieutenant saw the lights traveling from northwest over Newark Airport across the sky to the south.
Some were moving. Some appeared to be burning out. Some appeared to be breaking into smaller sections and disappearing. So it appeared to me like they were possibly debris or some type of meteorite or something breaking up.
Shift Commander Nick Morandi, who was on at the time, called the surrounding towns, and no one knew anything about it. Apparently, only residents of Carteret saw this.
Neither officials at Newark Airport, nor meteorologists at the National Weather Service, or personnel at nearby McGuire Air Force Base could account for anything that might explain these lights over Carteret. But those who did see it have their own explanations.
I just thought it was something, you know, that God sent from above for us to see.
No tailspins, no taking off, loud noises. They just went out, gone.
Chris O'Donoghue, UPN 9 News.
Orange lights flying and changing formations, everything from the Big Dipper to a perfect circle to a V. Was it man-made or something from another world? Take a look and you decide. Caught on home video, the bright orange lights moved slowly, quietly, and peacefully in the skies above Carteret. Just before 1 a.m. yesterday, Rajohn, Bagley, and Jerell Stanford were at a family birthday party when their aunt came running to summon everyone outside.
To me, it looked like the orange lights and like the shape of a Big Dipper, and it was real fascinating to me because it was just like there, and then it started fading away slowly and slowly. So I don't know what I think it was a UFO.
I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. It scared me because you see things up in the sky and it's like it's nothing. They were moving around, and we were so lucky to just catch it on footage.
The spectacle caused at least 70 cars to pull over on the New Jersey Turnpike and prompted 15 calls to Carteret police.
No emergency calls, no War of the Worlds calls, nothing like that. They just saw lights that were concerned, they didn't know what it was. And at the time, our officers didn't know. There were several officers working who also observed the lights. We called surrounding municipalities, they called the airport, and no reports of any lights outside of Carteret.
And it was like bright, like yellowish red lights in the sky, kind of tiny, and then all of a sudden it started changing patterns. At first it started in the Big Dipper, then it went to like 3 straight lines. And so we kept looking at it, and then finally it just like started disappearing.
Even now, officials cannot figure out where the lights came from. Area airports and military bases reported no unusual flight patterns, and meteorologists say there was nothing in the atmosphere last night to explain it. People who saw it say mixed things. Some think it was fireworks. Others say they're positive it was extraterrestrial.
We have things that fly in the air, and we have so much technology and things, and I don't believe this universe is big enough just for us to be here.
And this isn't the first time that people who live in this area report seeing an unidentified flying object in the night sky. One man we talked to says back in 1988, he saw an object as big as Giant Stadium in his backyard. That phenomenon couldn't be explained then, and people doubt last night's event will be explained now. We're live tonight in Carteret, New Jersey. I'm Pamela Chan for the WB11 News at 10. Kaiti, back to you.
So they still don't know what it was. Very intriguing. Thank you, Pamela. Well, these strange sightings in New Jersey are the subject of tonight's Tell Us at 10 questions. Simple enough. Do you believe in UFOs? Log on to our website at WB11.com. Click on the Tell Us at 10 icon. We'll have the results later in the newscast.
A lot of people saw flickering golden yellow lights over Carteret, and they think they saw a UFO. Harry Martin went out to investigate. He's in Carteret right now. Harry.
Rosanna, that's right. It's a mystery, all right. There's lots of speculation, lots of theory, but there is nothing definite.
Oh my goodness, it was a whole load of them.
This amateur video shows what hundreds of people saw around Carteret, New Jersey early Sunday morning. Objects yet unidentified that seemed to be flying.
At first I was like scared because I didn't know what was going on, but first thing that came to my mind was UFOs. First it looked like stars, but nah, couldn't have been.
Make no mistake, the Carteret Police Department got jammed with calls about the lights, and even patrolmen saw this strange occurrence.
About 15 to 20 lights in the sky. I have no idea what they could be.
But some people who saw the lights already have their minds made up.
It was amazing. I don't know what it was. They changed forms, then they dropped off slowly. I don't know what it was. I'm not saying I believe in aliens, but UFOs, that was it.
A more down-to-earth explanation may include a meteor shower. Crestkill Police Chief Frank Tino was flying his own plane when he saw the lights over the Delaware River water gap a few hours earlier at about 9:45.
Some of them shot across the sky and burned out rather quickly. Some of them seemed to hang and almost like a 4th of July sparkler, burned slowly, then shot at a rapid pace into the northwestern sky.
Astronomers say that there are some major solar storms that are occurring right now, which light up the atmosphere, known as the aurora borealis. But they are not usually seen as pinpoints of light. And so the speculation continues as to what they actually were.
I thought maybe, parachuters with flares or something. I really didn't know, so I didn't, I'm not thinking UFOs because, they're not supposed to be any.
It's like safety flares, I would say, like parachutists have on the end of them at nighttime when they jump out of the plane.
Well, as far as we could determine, there were no parachutists at that hour. It wasn't a satellite, certainly not the space shuttle. Just in case, though, something did land, there is an unofficial mugshot that has been released, and I emphasize unofficial mugshot of what may have landed. We're live in Carteret. Harry Martin, Fox 5 News. Back to you.
The truth is out there, Harry. Hey, those
Time now to see what you had to say about tonight's question. We asked, do you believe in UFOs? And here are the results. Yes, the vast majority of you are believers, 79%. 21% said no, okay? All right.
Early Sunday morning, hundreds of people reported seeing more than a dozen bright yellow or orange lights moving across the stars. Carteret police saw them too. Nobody knows what they were, although some have some interesting theories about visitors from outer space. Apparently, they were not space junk or meteors. NASA officials say the U.S. Space Command reported no large objects re-entering the atmosphere yesterday, and they say meteors usually move much faster than these lights you're looking at in the sky.
Very interesting. Lights in the sky over New Jersey. Many people have come forward to say they saw flickering golden lights over Arthurkill near Carteret last night. Now, police have been unable to identify the source, and Newark airport officials say there were no unusual flight patterns in the area at the time. 911 got dozens of calls from eyewitnesses to report the bizarre orange flares in the sky.
I wasn't alarmed, but in any case, because for the simple fact that it was peaceful.
Very peaceful, very serene, very beautiful, and I just think we witnessed some type of miracle of phenomenon. Absolutely.
Now the whole thing has others absolutely baffled. A meteorologist with the National Weather Service says there was nothing in the weather to cause the unexplained spectacle. It's caused quite a debate here on the Eyewitness Newsroom.
It has. It has. You notice they were flying in a V formation, and you know my theory: birds with flashlights.
Yeah, that's plausible. Very plausible.
That is so good.
Let me check that out.
That is really...
Birds with flashlights.
The first one. Come on, Ritter, you got a good explanation?
Planes, airplanes. Gotta be.
No.
The airport said they weren't airplanes.
Well, maybe a different airport.
Okay, we got it. They're yelling. We got
Are they
the
yelling
weather.
at us already?
We can talk about this.
Seen over Carteret and Staten Island last weekend. About 16 lights floated over the Arthurkill for maybe 4 or 5 minutes. The lights stopping traffic on the turnpike as people wondered if they might be, well, UFOs. Well, News Channel 4 sent videotape of the phenomenon to NASA. The space agency tells us those lights were not space debris. They were not meteorites. Instead, NASA says they had every appearance of being airborne flares, maybe released by a National Guard unit or as a prank from a private plane.
That's reassuring.